Welcome to the Unstoppable Pursuit Podcast, where we're pushing limits in business, life, and health. I'm Brian Benson. Next to me, well, he ate a handful of bees just for the honey. It's episode 48, the Unstoppable Pursuit Podcast. It's Mike Stull. We have Daniel and Ryan, the co-founders of Ghost Lifestyle. We are so excited to have these guys on the show. They are legends. We got some of their stuff over here, which is pretty amazing. We take it. We love it. So Mike's going to read part of his Dominate Your Day book, and then we're going to get into learn more about these two cool cats.
All right, here we go. Society likes to make us think that instant gratification is the way to go. Social media makes us believe you become a superstar overnight without working for it. Let me tell you right now, anything that's handed to you or truly super easy right now will ultimately lead to some disappointment down the road. It is the trials and the struggles you are dealing with at this moment in time that will ultimately bring pleasure and long-term gratification down the road because you actually had to work for them. You're going to have to pay your dues at some point in time. You will pay the price now or you will pay the price later. Each way will bring different results. Choose wisely. And the quote at the bottom says, "Don't count the days, make the days count," by Muhammad Ali.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you for being on the show. We super appreciate you.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Well, let's just get into the meat of this thing and kind of look. We're talking about how to stand out, how to be seen in a crowded industry. You guys, went into the supplements industry. Clearly, very crowded, but you managed to persevere and push through and be seen. Why don't you guys tell us a little bit about your journey and how you really got to get this thing off the ground and moving forward?
Sure. Well, first of all, I think it's an important distinction. We're just getting started. It's pretty crazy. It's already been a year. Ghost just turned a year old June 1st, just this past month. So, as far as be seen and a lot of the stuff that we're trying to do, we're just at the tip of the iceberg. And it's always going to be a good podcast when we're going to start following, quotes of Muhammad Ali at the start. But, like I said, we launched Ghost about a year ago. And, again, I guess you already kind of got the wheels turning with some of the quote that you read at the beginning. But the most important thing, I think the thing that helps us stand out is we're just being ourselves, right? It's a crowded industry, but you look around, a lot of people are trying to do the same thing. They're trying to be either the most scientific or the most bodybuilding, or they're trying to say this is the perfect way to diet or the perfect way to look. And I think we're just trying to, spread the message of, work hard, play harder, be a legend in anything you do, and attack your goals, whatever they may be.
Yeah, I think an important distinction there too is be seen isn't actually be different. It's be yourself. And I think that's the important distinction that we've made with ourselves as we launched Ghost. Our goal was to create a brand that speaks to us, speaks to the fans, not necessarily that speaks to something different than everybody else. Just kind of acting that way, right? So,
I didn't realize you guys were only a year old. For some reason, I thought it was longer. Was there a period of time where there was like the idea phase of this whole thing where you guys were like, oh, dude, like we should totally start this? And then how did you guys blow up so fast and really just like forge your own way? Obviously, being transparent and, like you said, being yourselves. But during that idea phase, when you thought, let's start this, what was kind of that plan of action?
We both have, pretty long tenured backgrounds in the industry. Ryan on the athlete side, and me kind of on the business, marketing, executive side of things. And I think that if you go back in time, a year or 2 years, the progression that I think we're starting to touch on with Ghost, right? This kind of lifestyle, as Ryan said, be the best you, no holds barred lifestyle, like that approach. To me, it was just natural, right? You started seeing big brands all of a sudden going into really mainstream channels, into the Walmarts, Costco's of the world. That means more and more people are gravitating towards supplements. Look, I think when we both started, like pre-workout was something that, I tell the story all the time. Like I used to sit in my car before going to the gym. I didn't want any of my boys to know I was taking it, right? Nowadays, everybody and their brother's taking it, but why are all the brands, why is all the marketing still promoting with, bodybuilding and this hard? It just doesn't really resonate with the end user, right? It's just people kind of, in my opinion, not being authentic, not being transparent. I think that type of culture and seeing that opportunity is kind of really where we started saying, dude, like, why don't, we were working out, we were partying, we were going out, we were kind of, we kind of said, why don't we create a brand with that type of foundation?
Everybody's doing all those things, right? Even within the fitness industry, the quote unquote hardcore guys. I mean, I would probably consider myself one of them back in the day when I was, tossing around the weight in the athlete ranks. But at the end of the day, I wasn't necessarily this perfect projection of fitness, right? Like, I met Dan, we used to hang out all the time in New York, we'd go out, have drinks, enjoy kind of everything else that life has to offer. And the truth is that 99% of the population loves all that, right? So creating something that speaks to that just made sense.
Yeah, that's really interesting. What really, when you guys first came up with the name for the brand and things, where did that come from, and why it called Ghost?
A couple different things. I mean, number one, it was important to us to kind of create a brand that didn't have the industry standard, like nutrition, metabolic, anabolic, any of that stuff, right? Labs, whatever. It was just, we just want to create kind of that, capture that almost Nike type of vibe, right? And I mean, dude, it took us a while. We were like, throwing different ideas around for.
What were some names before Ghost?
I don't know. To be honest, look, to be fair, Ghost was actually like the first idea we had. But I think we're both the type who kind of like to keep going and see if we can come up with anything better. And I mean,
some weird shit was thrown out.
Yeah, weird stuff. Yeah. Just like, dude, at some point, I think we're gonna. I want to release some of the early stage Ghost like logos before we finally got to the one we went with. They weren't so great. But I think that the idea for Ghost really came from both of us, also our partner Paul, right? We kind of were part of bigger brands in the past, and when you're part of a big team, you're part of a big company, it's not even appropriate for it to always be like your idea that ends up on shelf or your values, right? And with that, it's kind of like we're ghosts, kind of like, behind the scenes, so to speak. And I think that really resonates, or that can also double down as like a lot of the fans out there, right? Everyone's a ghost. They want to be seen. They want to have their voice heard, or, make an impact. And I think that kind of all coming together, Ghost and the Be Seen mantra, is kind of fit, and it's something that we ran with. Obviously, the other big part of the brand is, legend and be a legend. And I really love that. Kind of we're saying like, hey, be a legend or be your best, do your best no matter what your goal is. But if we're honest, we just hang out with a lot of Aussie guys, and they kind of use it, he's a legend, whatever. So it kind of just like fit. And, again, that's kind of that story of just this whole thing is just super organic, just us being ourselves, and kind of building a family with, whether it's the DJs or some of the athletes, the ambassadors, like all people that we've known for a long time, just finally have the opportunity to kind of come together and create something unique.
I was going to say, I like the idea that you guys are kind of playing the lifestyle, the work hard, play hard, because that's kind of what Brian and I are doing with our brand too. But, like when I first got into the fitness industry, like at a super young age, I was very naive, thinking when I was training my clients, no, they're going to eat chicken and broccoli 6 times a day, and that it was super strict, you know what I mean? And like, that's like the bodybuilding thing. So I like that now it's like you guys were talking about, and even showed clips in your video of, no, like you're pouring some pre-workout or some aminos into your drink and you're at the club partying. Like, to me, and I think to most people out there, that's more of a sustainable lifestyle where, you're still able to enjoy yourself, but still able to see progress in business, life, and health. So I love that, Yeah. Because we popped that pre-workout before our one segment like 2 weeks ago or something. Dude, we were out of control. Like, so that's like a good example right there,
He was licking the bottom of the barrel here before we got on the podcast,
So yeah, but anyways, I mean, just the whole 365 work hard, play hard. I think that's where you guys are really hitting it big. That anybody and everybody, you can still hit it hard in the gym, but go out and have fun at the same time.
And look at if it fits your macros trend, right? I mean, we've got a world that wants to have their cake and eat it too, while still looking good. And I mean, that's a big reason why you see, every week we post a physique destroyer, right, on our social feeds. Like,
I love that, yeah.
Most brands are posting, okay, another protein shake or another, yes, we get it, chicken and vegetables is healthy, and that's the clean things that, we strive. But that's just not realistic for most people 100% of the time. So again, it's like, why has there never been a brand to kind of come out and say, look, like we get it. Like you're not going to eat perfect 100% of the time. You're not going to do 45 minutes of fasted cardio, 3 times a day in between lifting, in between. Like it's like, dude, just stop it already, because no one was doing it, right? Like Ryan said, I mean, everyone is already, the whole concept of lift heavy, work your ass off, then go enjoy, no matter what that means to you. Like everyone is already doing that. It's just, for some reason, people just wanted to hide it, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. No, and it's, for me, like, just being a new dad and everything, like, I don't even have time to, like, do half the stuff that I used to do. So, like, your brand resonates with me so much because it is that way. It's like, dude, when I can get to the gym, like, I'm going to go hard. When I can go out, which is very rare these days because hangovers are not cool with, like, a 5-month-old. But, but I totally get that because that's the way I live too, man. And like, I just think that's cool that you guys kind of just came out like that and said it that in that way. That sounded so weird.
I was going to say, Brian and I actually went to college together up in Ohio to a small little Division III. He played soccer, I played basketball, but we didn't even know each other. So we probably walked past each other millions of times, or we probably even partied with each other. But what I was going to say is, Brian, dude, was a hardcore partier back in college. That would have been a perfect timing for Ghost, for you guys to have come out probably circa 2007, 2008. Brian probably would have needed some legend in his drinks because he was a savage in college. So that's just a little side story.
I can be a savage still.
No, he's a dad.
No, I'm a dad. So I want to go a little bit deeper with you guys. Let's talk about the ups and downs of building a business a little bit, and how you guys, like, when you quit your jobs, when you said we're going to do this and build from the ground up. I mean, imposter syndrome is real, all these things of saying, like, oh shit, like, is this going to work? Is this not going to work? Like, can you go into some of those moments and how you persevered and pushed through a lot of that?
Yeah. Last year was a tough year, for sure. Actually, the last couple of years. I mean, going through your day-to-day not getting a paycheck sucks. So I think that was definitely a slap in the face for both of us. I actually moved. We were both based in New York City. Dan moved out to Vegas a little before we launched the brand, like a year before. I actually moved out of New York, moved to Vegas with him basically 2 days, 2-3 days before we actually launched the brand. Since we moved to Chicago, so we bounced around a lot. Like I said, not cutting paychecks and stuff like that was tough, and just kind of the 12 to 15 hour grind. When you are, up until the beginning of this year, we were 3 guys, right? So nationally distributed at over 4,000 stores nationwide, and then also catering to our website, doing the customer support, everything ourselves. I think at launch day, the website actually crashed, and we were obviously in a massive panic. We spent like 3, 4, 5 hours with the web team trying to get this thing up. And I remember it was like 9 o'clock at night, and our apartments are still next door to each other, and they were in Vegas as well.
That's awesome.
Dude, we're not web guys. It's with the web team. They're trying to fix it. It's like 9 o'clock. I don't know what we can do right now. I'm gonna leave, and we'll try to get back on this thing first thing in the morning. I get back to my place, like 30 minutes later, I jump on like the Go Snapchat, and we're getting so many snaps per minute that they're disappearing.
It actually resets. Yeah, there's a max amount of snaps.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so I hit Dan, and I'm like, dude, as much as we can't do anything right now, we got to get on top of this, right? So I went back to his place. I think we opened a bottle of wine and just for like 3:30, 4 a.m. in the morning. And a lot of those people, actually, one of them is now running our customer service.
Yeah.
So it's crazy how it comes full circle, but a lot of those people actually still reach out to us on like a weekly basis. So it's pretty cool, the impact that I think we saw firsthand there, and it kind of makes all of it worth it, right? So
Yeah, I mean, creating a business, I mean, most, like, you started the podcast off by saying, the social media kind of has created this instant gratification kind of culture, right? And creating, starting a business from scratch, it teaches you humility for sure. It teaches you patience. And one initiative that we've failed on so far, but we had some great meetings the last couple of days. It's coming soon. We really want to start, producing a lot of content that shows people a lot of what you're asking, right? The behind the scenes, the struggles, the ups and downs. We want to share all that with fans out there, or even just people interested, just to see the inner workings of a brand, or a couple entrepreneurs and just trying to build this thing, chase the dreams kind of thing. But for us, like I said, the launch day was absolutely crazy. But it's easy for people to see like the product and taste it and look at the packaging and say, oh my God, this is Warhead's thing, and we've got some great big names involved with the brand, and happy to say they've been friends of ours for years. So it's like, oh God, they're killing it. But there's been a lot of look, we were out of stock for 3 months right after we launched.
Wow.
We had some cool trademark and other just the general business stuff, right? And it's a grind for sure, but it's all really been rewarding. So
it's business stuff, but it's funny because you never anticipate that stuff. We're thinking the issues are nobody's going to want to buy our stuff.
Yeah.
Not okay. We're out of stock. What do we do?
Yeah, we're out of stock for 3 months. What do we do? Or hey, we had a batch of pre-workout and a batch of Legend that like clumped up on us. Okay, what do we do? So it's for us, one of the keys to get through it, like, is kind of the theme, right? We've been transparent, I think. We've been authentic. We've gotten on Snapchat and snapped every single fan.
That's so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's important. It's important. It's amazing to me. Some people that have businesses and they kind of hide behind the scenes, and you don't really know what's going on as a customer. And we've all been on that end of customer support, right? So I think just us kind of grabbing the bull by the horns and trying to respond personally, and not be scared to say, hey, we failed here, but we're getting better every single day. That's been one of the big kind of saving graces through all this. I think that kind of really plays into that authentic and transparent kind of vibe of the brand. So
when that happened and you guys started reaching back out to your audience, was that even like in the plan though, like to build that such transparency, or were you like, I guess we're just going to have to be transparent because this is the situation that we're faced with? Or were you always like, this is going to be a full transparent brand about everything?
It was always the plan, but the execution in the moment is definitely a challenge. Mm-hmm. I think part of it, I mean, and look, we'll date ourselves. I mean, I'm 31. He turns 30 on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Well, I think, it's amazing to see, Christian and Max and Raymond and these guys basically living their life on camera, and sharing the stuff with the world is so natural. Like if Christian was on the podcast with you, he would have like a drone overhead and 2 cameras set up. Like, yeah. we just don't think like that, right? We're kind of the guys who want to execute on the business front, execute on the product, and then we say, oh God, we should have filmed it, right? So I think that, it was always our plan from day one to document even much more than we already are. Mm-hmm. And that's coming soon. But I think that it's been one of our biggest assets, right? Is just being able to connect, whether it's, opportunities like this, whether it's on Instagram, on Snapchat stories, etc.
Yeah, I mean, that's how we've been feeling, too. I mean, we've been documenting since day one from the podcast, and we just put our silly shit out there, stuff that does, we have stuff go wrong all the time. I mean, early on, dude, our sound was so messed up. It was so bad.
Yeah, don't even go back and listen to, or watch some of our first podcasts, because, dude, they were so pathetic, it wasn't even funny.
We thought we were embarrassing. We don't know. We were stupid.
So, yeah, I mean, we've experienced a tremendous growth process, too. But, yeah, I mean, I think I even saw, Daniel, maybe you had said something like you guys were trying to get better at documenting and putting it on YouTube just because, people need to see what's going on behind the scenes, But, it's hard for us, too, because, we're both married and, our wives, get pissed off. like when we're like trying to Snapchat and like do different things, and we're like, no, it's for the unstoppable pursuit, and then they get pissed off. So it's like it's hard to balance that, because I think even when I talked to you on the phone, you had mentioned like, yeah, we're just trying to build a business without our girlfriends like hating us. You know what I mean? Because it's hard to balance. It's hard to balance that. You know, it really is. Like, you know, we have to have that conversation with our significant other. Like, we're trying to build our brand so that, you know, we can have a successful future.
I think one of the key. I mean, look, we're both based in America, but I think one of the keys for us is it's not our brand. It's all of our brand, including them. Right?
Yeah.
It's a team effort. And I think that mindset. I mean, look, the girls rolled up their sleeves and worked the Olympia booth, you know, with us. They crushed it.
They've moved all over the country.
Yeah, they moved all over. I mean, they're the real MVP. So.
Yeah, no, I feel you. We always try to. It's not work-life balance. It's work-life integration. You know, so you got to figure out how to integrate it all. But it is kind of funny when we're like, oh yeah, babe, I gotta like go take a shit for like 10 minutes, you know, and I'm Snapchatting and friggin' Facebook, whatever, and we're going, what's the next big idea, you know? And I'm like, all right, hold on, I gotta go back out there and like wipe my kid's ass.
Yeah, I think the majority of Brian and I's business conversations going on when we're taking dumps.
Don't Snapchat while shitting.
Yeah. No. Only like yeah. So what do you guys anticipate coming into now the next year with your brand, and you know, what's the big things that are coming up, and what you guys really see in the future for you?
I think as Dan said, well, as he said now too, expanding internationally, going global is. We're shipping right now to the UK, Canada, and it's been a challenge. Again, it's probably another situation we didn't really anticipate. We don't know a whole lot about. We're working day to day just to try to get better there. And then I think documenting and content, video, is something we really wanted to do from day one, but it's 100% going to get done this year. It's a big initiative for us. And more products, more SKUs, expanding the brand, creating a line. Apparel is a big initiative, at least on my plate. I'd love to get us a full apparel range as well. So a lot of cool stuff, for sure.
Yeah, I think global for me is the number one initiative. I think a lot of fans out there, they don't understand that supplement is not. Every country has different regulations. So if you really want to do it right, and it's important to us, it goes as fast as we want to move and as quickly as we want to grow and as big as our ambitions may be, we want to do it the right way. And I think that for anybody listening who's building a business, playing the long game and having the foresight to say, look, you can sacrifice some short-term gain to kind of do it correctly, and in the long run, it's going to pay dividends. International is a great example of that, because every country almost has a little bit different formula regulation. For example, something like as simple as dicaffeine malate that we use in Legend here. Dicaffeine malate is not allowed in Europe, believe it or not, right? So for us to kind of say, okay, we're not just going to put a watered-down product on the shelf in Europe and make that available for any of our fans out there. We're going to take the time to create the best damn product possible for legends out in Europe, or same thing in Australia. They have different regulations than in Europe. So what's the best possible product we can put on the shelf, in that country? And that's taken some time, but we're excited to get launched there. I think by the end of the summer, which will be huge for us.
Nice.
As well. And working on we're opening up our own warehouse, and then over the summer, which should help us with some of the shipping rates. That's been another big kind of thorn on our side. Shipping service, shipping rates, just trying to improve that, as best as we can as well.
When you guys started, just go back, like, how do you guys divvy up roles and responsibilities? Like, Ryan, are you more like apparel side, and or how do you guys divvy up those responsibilities as a partnership?
Dan has his background's marketing. I went to school for marketing. And was really big in social as an athlete. So as we kind of, look, we're still a startup, right? So we're wearing a lot of different hats. Mm-hmm. All of us are. But I think, I've kind of taking the lead on the marketing side with obviously a lot of insight and everything from Dan. And Dan kind of takes the product dev, flavors, overarching business needs. You can probably outline your position a little bit better than me, but a lot of the social and apparel has been a big initiative that I've been trying to get going for the later half of this year. But yeah.
And the team all collaborates on the brand look and feel, right? The brand DNA, if you will. And then, from there, I think, like day one, there's so much overlap and everybody's kind of involved in everything. And I would bet a lot of businesses are like that. But as you grow, I think to make sure that it's scalable, each person has to figure out two things, and they're equally important. Number one, what are they really good at, right? Out of the 50 million things on our plate, what are you the best at, right? And then number two, and this is equally as important, a lot of people forget this, what do you like doing? Like what gets you out of bed, right? And I think that when you look at those things and you put it all on the whiteboard and say, okay, Paul's going to attack these goals every day, Ryan's going to attack these, I'm going to plug in here, and then we're going to kind of all meet again on that overarching brand look and feel and direction. I think that's kind of, that's I guess the advice on scalability and kind of our approach to it. But I mean, look, that's a living, breathing discussion, right? I mean, every day something new gets added, and it's either, hey, are you going to take that? Am I going to take that? Or is it time to add another family member and go and try to hire someone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And regardless of which one of us usually takes the lead, it's almost always a discussion anyway. So
yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting that you guys started off with like 2 or 3 guys, and you since have added some team members because, I mean, like Brian and I, we do everything for our brand and our podcast, but we've been approached and people have like literally asked us like if we have like 10 people working for us, and we're like, no, dude, like we got 2 guys and we just, we kind of give each other the responsibilities, and we both have our strengths and weaknesses too, so.
Yeah, just takes a lot of hard work and grind it out. It's just do what you got to do. So I love that. I love that, guys. I think I want to. I just kind of one thing I really wanted to learn about you guys, just really quick, just to kind of go back for 2 seconds. Is when you started, did you guys have funding, or how did you guys really get off the ground? Like, because to me, getting in the supplement space is expensive, and I guess I just really wanted to understand that.
Sure. Well, I'll say quickly that this might not be the most popular opinion for people watching, but I'm probably one of the most pro-regulation people in the industry. I think that there's not enough barriers to entry in the supplement industry, especially in the U.S. The rest of the world, it's actually pretty challenging to enter these markets, as I kind of talked about earlier. But I mean, from a financial standpoint, we were self-funded at the get-go. Actually, to date, we still are. We have great partner with our co-manufacturer. I mean, they are compliant, quality, NSF, CGMP, BRC certified to the nines. But additionally, they believed in us, and so in going and getting some early purchase orders. From like a GNC, et cetera, we were able to kind of go and work out good terms kind of with them and kind of go from there. I know that's always a big question for people starting a business, right? Is how can I do that, et cetera. And I think that, again, as I said earlier, business teaches you to be humble and it teaches you to be patient. In my case, I've met a lot of people in the industry over the years, and GNC took a big chance with us. And I think having that type of launch made some of those other discussions to kind of get a manufacturer on board, et cetera, made that easier. But if you're somebody who's just trying to start out, no matter what your business is, maybe that chain, maybe you don't need, I mean, look, Ghost launched with 2 products and 2 flavors of each. Remember that, right? I mean, you see a lot of brands that launch like 6 products and 19 flavors, and we still get asked all the time, why do you only have a couple flavors? But I mean, that's a big answer, right? It takes money to do that. So as big as we launch with a partner like GNC, it's also forced us to kind of be more patient, rein in how many different flavors we're going and kind of go a little bit slower. But yeah, I know that's a big challenge for people. You just kind of have to size up what you're able to do, what you're able to find a partner like a manufacturer who believes in you, can maybe give you some good credit terms, and kind of just take it day by day and grow accordingly.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. No, I appreciate that because I think that that's really important because I have a lot of other friends who started businesses. I interview a lot of entrepreneurs and CEOs, and many of them have started so similar. It's just find like people are willing to take a chance on you. Maybe like if you have a really great idea, go to a business who may put in like the first part of the order so you have like that money up front to be able to deliver. And I think what you guys did, like bootstrapping, keeping it lean, is super cool.
And it got hit too. I mean, not only did we do products, but I mean, we were out of stock, for 3 months. We obviously didn't do a great job on this, right? It wasn't
That's funny, man.
So I'm interested to hear from the both of you, if you are able to talk to your younger self, if your younger version of yourself from 10 years ago was standing in front of you, what would each of you say to that younger version of yourself?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think if I had one word, I think it would probably be patience. I think when I was 20, 21 years old, any and every opportunity that came in front of me, I probably jumped at. Especially when I was 23, when I moved to New York, and it's a big city. And when I started getting involved in a lot of the modeling gigs and fitness stuff, I mean, everybody wanted to partner, anybody wanted to create X, Y, and Z, and I jumped at a lot of them and failed at a lot of them. And I think I learned a lot from those failures. I think if I had to say one thing, it would probably be patience, which everything that we're saying is kind of behind that point, just playing a long game and doing this right.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to say the same thing. But I think if there's another theme here, it's definitely kind of stay humble, right? And as big as your ideas or your ambitions may be, there's steps to this thing. And if you kind of let any prior successes or anything get ahead of you, the business, just the world, whatever. I mean, it'll take you down a couple notches if you're not careful. So, like Brian said,
we know that all too well.
Hair's all gray and shit over here, bro.
Don't be scared to fail, but make sure you know that you're gonna and stay humble accordingly, right? Learn from it and get better. That's
Too many people want everything tomorrow, and any great business takes time. Any great brand takes a long time to build, and just having patience in doing that is probably the biggest thing I can say, at least for anybody looking to start a business or get involved in a new project or anything like that.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. Well, I mean, do you have any more questions? I mean, the podcast, we respect your guys' time and respect you guys so much and just appreciate you and everything that you're doing. So if you guys have any final words, then we'll go into our challenge and our health tip, and then we'll close up. So do you guys have any last thing that you want to say about your brand, about yourselves, about where you guys are going, that you want to just, hey, here's your plug. You have the stage.
Being involved in fitness in front of the camera for many years and now kind of being behind the camera, I think one thing I can take away, especially in this industry, is to just do you and be you. Too many people, again, especially in this industry, put this facade on. It's just bullshit. And in the age of social media, people see through that bullshit a lot quicker than they used to. So the transparency thing, it's our thing, but truthfully, everybody should take a page of it, because if you're not transparent, if you're not real, people will sniff that out real quick. So anything I have to say, just be you.
Yeah, and I mean, just to add to that, I know it's become a little bit of a cliche, but life's short, right? Tomorrow's not promised to anybody, so make sure that you are taking steps every day towards your goal. And to go one further, make sure that you're surrounding yourself with people that not only will help you get your goal, but it's, the journey is only as good as the people that you kind of take that ride with. And I think that if one of my favorite things about Ghost is the family that we built, not only with like Ryan, Paul, and myself, but also like our athlete team. Like, Christian I've known for years. Max has been, a newer friend, someone who's just so cool. Raymond, who knows it's just been so cool to kind of take this ride with people that you have fun with, that you trust, that you love. I mean, that's just as important, I think, as the journey as a whole. And leave it all out there, guys.
We're having fun with it. So.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's awesome.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get into the challenge really quick, and that's just going to be to be patient. So if you guys think that you are, not where you want to be, just take some time, reflect, look back, and see where you have gone in your own journey, and just kind of feel good about yourself. But be patient, play the long game, and that's the challenge for this week.
The health tip, I chose this health tip just because of, you guys launching with the new flavor of the Ghost Whey protein. Your guys' protein obviously is good by itself, but a lot of people like to maybe throw in a little extra stuff. So if you need a boost to your shake or smoothie, try adding in some nuts or seeds to the mix, such as crushed almonds, crushed cashews, chia seed, flaxseed, the list goes on. It'll provide you with a nice extra little nutty flavor with some added healthy fats, extra fiber, and some protein. But the thing about Ghost Whey is really your guys' flavors are so legendary that you don't really need to add in anything extra. And the quote at the bottom of this one is, you don't drown by falling in the water, you drown by staying there.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Dan, Ryan. You guys are legends. We really appreciate you. People, you need to get out there and check this company out. You need to order their stuff. Seriously. And one last thing I want to say about you guys, how awesome I think you are, and the attention to detail is this. This little thing right here changed my life.
Yeah.
Let me let you guys in on a secret, and I think we kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but I really don't think a lot of stuff that we're doing is like that crazy or that cheap. To me, like, why has nobody done this before, right? Same thing with Warheads, right? Like, or any authentic flavor partnership, right? It's like it's been a natural. To us, it's like the natural progression here, right? And I think that comes back to the be yourself, and like, we make these products for ourselves, and I don't know where his hands have been, so make sure that the scoop's on top. I mean, you're like, look, there's a lot of us in the brand, and hopefully that comes through.
Yeah.
Yeah, even like your guys' little inserts are cool. That's unique that they can add that into the website. This one says Beach Dev Kelly Bro. I mean, some of the other ones that you guys have shown on your Snap are pretty hilarious. Kind of random, but cool,
Yeah, I just want to say the attention to detail is first class, gentlemen.
So if you guys are ever in Southwest Florida, though, hit us up if you guys want to bring the girls down and whatnot, and we can all go out to dinner. You guys are more than welcome. We consider you guys part of our family, so.
We appreciate you. Thank you guys so much. Keep crushing it. Keep hustling. If we're ever in Chi-Town, we'll get up there, and we'll hit you guys up. But thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
All right, guys. Take care.